Hello everybody, it is the Lawn Gnome and welcome to your September 2020 Funko Pop update. So yeah, we're back together again to discuss all the wonderful things that are going on in the world of Funko, and I don't really know how to describe this month's news that I found because it's pretty much all over the place. I mean, we do have our regular segments, you know, our movie stuff, our video game stuff, etc., but some of the things that I have seen that have been revealed in regards to all of these new things is definitely an interesting mix, especially when it comes to some of the properties in these categories. But one of the other interesting things that I have been noticing, and your Funko is, I think, finally getting to that diverse market in regards to their products that they've really been trying to do for quite some time, because we are literally only 1 year away before Funko Pops reach their 10-year anniversary of existing in the market, but we've definitely been seeing Funko trying to tackle other areas of entertainment with the same properties. They've tried a couple of things like rock candies and Dorbs, and they haven't really done so well, but we've definitely been seeing some interesting things popping up over the last couple of months in 2020, and I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say about it, because it's more than just Funko Pops today, everybody. I'm a little bit excited about that. But before we get into all of those exciting pieces of news, let's take a look at how my collection has been going. So before I begin with this new collection update, I just want to say that I was actually very excited to do this one, merely because of the fact that some of the pops that we're going to go over today are some that have actually been in my possession since the beginning of 2020, and the reason why I held off on presenting them is because if you have been watching my Funko Pop updates for the last couple of years, there's always a theme. I want to bring a theme to unite certain pops together rather than just showing you everything new. And today's theme is icons. So, what exactly defines an icon? An icon is definitely when you take someone who is a passionate person towards something and you say to them, what's an icon in this thing that you love so much, they're going to mention a specific name. Like, as a basketball fan, a diehard Knicks fan, someone comes to me and say, who is an iconic Knick? Well, someone from my generation is going to say Patrick Ewing, but they're not going to mention someone like Chris Childs or Charlie Ward, because they weren't as legendary as a Hall of Famer like Patrick Ewing or even John Starks and Charles Oakley. But what I'm saying is, an icon is not just someone who is a figure in a specific medium. It's someone who also, or something, that spans generations and stands the test of time. So, like, when it comes to a player in basketball like Michael Jordan, if you didn't see Michael Jordan play in the 1990s as a Chicago Bull, or even in the 80s, you have still a good idea of who Michael Jordan is, even though you probably adore someone like LeBron James. But you know who he is, you know his legend, and you've probably even seen some of his highlights. So that's an icon. And icons are not just in sports, they're all over. They're in everywhere from literature to advertising to even television, movies, and comic books, and we're going to go over some of the pops in my collection that I've just been so eager to talk about with you guys. So the first one that we're going to talk about, of course, is one that you may have already seen in my Shelf Tour series. It is Waldo from the game-changing book series from the 1990s, Where's Waldo? This is a character that is still very popular. Little children still read Waldo books. My nieces, oldest one is only 7 years old. They know who Waldo is. They've seen the books. They've played the games. They know who this character is. So the fact that it even took Funko this long to even make a Waldo Pop, or a couple of Waldo Pops, is quite surprising to me, but again, not surprising based on how they have been marketing for the last couple of years. Their strategy is pretty genius. So, I love this pop. I love the fact that he is posed the way that he is in the books, and the details on him are perfect. I love the waves in his brown hair. I love what they did with the eyes and the glasses. The fact that they gave him a smile was definitely the right thing to do, and I love how he is waving and he's leaning on his cane, and all the way around, even when you get a full view of his hat, they did an absolute absolutely spectacular job. I mean, mine has a paint smudge right over there, a little bleeding white over the red, but that's okay because when you order these by mail, unfortunately, you don't have the ability to see what you're going to get before you purchase it. So it's a risk, but it's a good risk. And I also like the box itself because if you take a look in the back, there's actually a board with a Where's Waldo page. Although the funny thing is, my wife and I took it out and we tried to find Waldo and we didn't. And we both agreed it's probably because of the fact that Waldo is right here. You already found him. Now we're going to take a look at an ad icon. And we know as Funko fans that the ad icons are some of the most popular in the world of Funko when it comes to collecting them. But all of the ones that they have made have been great. They've done lots of serial mascots. That's definitely their claim to fame, especially with General Mills. But when they announced that they were making the Morton Salt Girl, who is actually one of the first ad icons ever, my wife and I were definitely interested in getting this. I know that there's also a Box Lunch Diamond Edition, and we actually saw it up close, and it also makes sense to have the Morton Salt Girl as a diamond sparkly pop, but we like the plain one, it's fine. But the details on her are beautiful. She comes right off of the salt cans. I love that they even have her holding the salt, and I love the effects with the little navy blue grains in the salt that's pouring out of the jar. Also the big white umbrella, and also the expression on her face is beautiful. Again, I like what they've been doing a lot lately with the eyes on some of the pops. They really have been giving them extra personality, and also as you can see over there on the box, there is the icon in all of her original glory, and she is still one of the most recognizable ad icons in all of the history of advertisements. And I just appreciate the fact that they've really been making these a lot. They're almost at 100 now. I think that that is great because these are probably one of the few lines in Funko Pop world that actually sells all the time. And they also do a lot of exclusives, so sometimes they can be very, very rare. But she is a common, and I'm really glad that we got her. Now we're going to go into the world of comic books, and one of these you've already seen when I officially gave you guys all of the Fantastic Four pops that I purchased, but the reason why I brought Silver Surfer out again is not just because of the fact that he looks so awesome, but because I finally got his former master, the Eater of Worlds, Galactus. Now, I waited to get Galactus only because of the fact that when they announced the Fantastic Four line, Galactus was the same size as all the pops, and that just didn't make sense to me. Where was the oversized Galactus? Because when you take a look at the two of these pops, this really is not the way it's supposed to be. Silver Surfer even looks like he's taller than Galactus, but Galactus is a giant, and we all know that as comic book readers, and these are two of the most iconic Marvel characters. So the reason why I finally gave in and bought Galactus was because if they were going to make an oversized Galactus, he probably would have been in stores by now, or at least we would have seen a glam shot of him on Funko's Twitter feed and other pop collector Twitter feeds, but you know what? I'm happy that I got it because even though I'm not thrilled about the size, it's still a very good looking pop. I love the details. I think that they did such a beautiful job with him on his head, especially with the eyes, with the square pupils, which is perfect. That's the way it's supposed to be. The engravings on his helmet are great. Also, the details on his entire outfit is exactly the way it's supposed to look, right out of the comics. I'm surprised they didn't give a little bit more features on the back of his helmet because it looks very, very weird considering that there's like literally nothing in the back and everything in the front, because I'm pretty sure that there are some engravings on the sides and on the back as well, but I still will say that when I do see if they do in fact make an oversized Galactus, I might seriously still consider getting it because it's just the right way of things, and maybe I'll just give this Galactus to a friend who I know will appreciate it. Another iconic comic book character, ironically another villain, is the Joker. As a matter of fact, DC Comics celebrated the 80th anniversary of the Joker with an oversized issue which featured the origin of Punchline, which is his new sidekick/girlfriend in the current comic story of Batman Joker War. And I already have a lot of different versions of the Joker in my collection. I have the 1966 Cesar Romero Joker. I have the Jared Leto Suicide Squad Joker. I also have the Batman animated series Joker and the Dark Knight Returns Joker. So This is based on the Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo New 52 Batman story, Death of the Family. This is the Death of the Family Joker. And he already came out a couple of months ago. I think he came out last year, and I didn't pick it up. But that was also because of the fact that I didn't read the comic yet, and now I have. And I will say that Death of the Family is definitely one of the better Joker-themed stories in Batman ever told, and it's so stand out because of how scary this version of the Joker is. He's not the clown. He really is a bloodthirsty killer. And the fact that he ripped off his face thanks to the doll maker and stapled it back to him, it just shows you what a madman he is. And the story was great, and then Hot Topic made a Death of the Family Joker box with a t-shirt, and the pop was going to glow in the dark that came with the box, and the best part was, because he has two different colored eyes, just like in the comics, one was going to glow in yellow, and one was going to glow in green, and I was like, you know what, this is where I'm going to definitely want to pick this up, because I loved the comic. This version of the Joker was amazing, and the pop is great. The details on the face with the long staples, stapling the skin to his ripped off face. I also love that you got the little bumps in regards to the muscle around his face. Also, his hair glows in the dark, which is not a surprise. The grin is so spooky. I also love how some of the teeth are very uneven and disintegrating, which is amazing. And also the blood on the hammer and all the way around his Joe's Garage outfit, which is exactly what he wears in the comic, and also the big band that goes all the way around. This is definitely one of the best designed versions of the Joker, and I also love the pose because that is right out of the comics. Like, he's just creeping up on you and ready to strike with that hammer. Absolutely fantastic. One of the best Funko Pops in my collection. And I think when I take a look at all the Jokers, even though the Cesar Romero is definitely my favorite pop of the Joker, this one is definitely one of my personal favorites in regards to the Joker. And finally, this is the reason why it took so long to do this theme in regards to my collection update, because it took so long for this pop to finally make it to my house. It came out in May, and it didn't show up until August, but of course, it's the mayor of Flavortown himself, Guy Fieri. Now, if you're a fan of the Food Network, you've seen a lot of his shows. You might have watched Guy's Big Bite. You probably watched Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. You probably watched Guy's Grocery Games. And even if you don't watch any of that, you know who Guy Fieri is because of the iconic status that he's given himself in regards to the Food Network and just chefs in general. He was the second winner of the next Food Network star, and he pretty much revolutionized what it means to be a chef. You don't have to be this very polished, hard-working guy. You can actually be clad in tattoos, wear flip-flops, frost your hair, and just be as charismatic and dynamic as you possibly can. And that's why people love this guy so much, because of how much fun he is to watch. And I knew that when they announced that he was going to be part of the plain icons collection, not the ad icons, that he was going to be a very popular item. And he is. And why wouldn't he be? Look at the beautiful details, the flames on his shirt, the fact that he's got the burger on a dish, and the details on the burger are great too, all the way to the sesame seed bun. I love how you can see his eyes through his shades. I love the different colors of his beard, and of course the frosting on the hair, perfect. Also the bling and the watch, and ironically, you don't really see any of his tattoos, because he's definitely got a lot of tattoos, but when he first started making his show, he didn't really have many. I am a little surprised they didn't give him the armband, because he did wear an armband when he was doing his first few seasons of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, just to shout out to his son Hunter, letting them know that he thinks about him when he's doing his show and he's traveling. And of course, he's got the Chuck Taylors, which is also awesome. But I love Guy Fieri, and I love this pop too. So happy that he's actually part of our collection. I got him also because my wife is a big fan of his. He watches Guy's Grocery Games. I watch that as well, but I'm more of a Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives fan. That's my real guilty pleasure when it comes to watching television. And he's actually the only Funko Pop that actually is displayed on the top of one of our cabinets in our kitchen, because that's where he belongs. Hopefully there will be an Alton Brown, because my wife is a huge fan of Alton Brown and Good Eats and Iron Chef. It would be really cool if they actually gave us some more celebrity chefs, like Bobby Flay and Gina De Laurentiis and Rachel Ray. I mean, why not, you know? Funko just keeps on cranking things out. I mean, we're going on almost 10 years now, and these are still selling. People are still fans, and the fact that we get certain Funko Pops like these that are really based around icons, it just shows you that Funko is still very much ahead of their game and still trying to do their very best to stay alive and relevant today, even though the pandemic is still dragging a lot of people down, but they're still very much strong right now, and the fans are still getting what they want. So let's take a look at all the news. So I am definitely going to just put it out there and say that for Funko, it was definitely an interesting month, considering the themes that we got in regards to new things that Funko is offering in the world of pop and other merchandise. There was a Halloween theme, not as much as it was recently in a few months back, where they just gave us a ton of Halloween-themed pops, but we still got a couple more of them, as well as a few Christmas things. So far, I guess it's just because of where we are in terms of the pandemic. We're trying to get as many people into better moods as possible. So, on the Funko Shop, there were definitely some interesting things. We got a Franken Freddy, which of course is a Freddy Funko as Frankenstein, and what I love so much about him is he's definitely a modern Freddy Funko as Frankenstein, because it looks like he's got a smartphone in his hand. But we also have the skeleton from Corpse Bride, and you can get that regular common or a glow-in-the-dark chase. And we already saw the first 4 of the Funko Pop art series line, which is definitely creative and interesting. We got 4 Batmans, and now it looks like Disney's jumping in, and we're going to be getting a Art Deco version of Zero. Also, there were a couple of advent calendars that Funko announced. One was Halloween themed, and it is the 13 Days of Halloween. Each window includes a mini pop of a Halloween themed character from film, and for Christmas we're going to be getting 3. We're going to be getting The Nightmare Before Christmas, Harry Potter, and Dragon Ball Z for some strange apparent reason. But still, Dragon Ball Z is an advent calendar. I think a lot of people will be excited about that. There was also a lot of new announcements in regards to Funko games. We've got some more card games coming, one Halloween-themed one, and the rest of them are Christmas-themed. And you can get everything from A Christmas Story to Gremlins to Elf, just to name a few. Also, a lot of t-shirts were announced, and these are all going to be available at Target. They are all Marvel-themed, and I think the ones that are definitely going to be the most popular are the Miles Morales Spider-Man, as well as the Spider-Gwen t-shirt, and each of them comes with a Pocket Pop. Along with the Target exclusives, we got a GameStop exclusive t-shirt box, which is Dragon Ball Z themed. You can get a Gohan Super Saiyan 2 t-shirt, and it will include a GameStop exclusive glow-in-the-dark Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Pop. And Walmart jumped into the mix as well, giving us 2 He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Funko Pop T-sets, which will include both He-Man and Skeletor, and each of them will include an exclusive glow-in-the-dark Masters of the Universe Pop. And along with the t-shirt boxes, you can also get a metallic web store exclusively at Walmart. There's also new soda can figures. We saw some of these teased at the VirtuaCon 3 for San Diego Comic-Con, and now we're officially getting the Glam Shots. You can get a Chucky, a Star Child from Kiss, Samurai Jack, and Shredder, and if you are lucky, you can get a Chase as well. We also knew about the Hello Kitty Kaiju series that was coming in regards to Funko, in regards to Pops, but now they're including plushies as well, and they are all going to be available at GameStop. So if you like your Hello Kitty and the hybrid with Tokyo Monsters, you can also get soft and cuddly ones to add to your collection in plushie form. And then we got some of the cons outside of San Diego Comic-Con. We got another VirtuaCon for Star Wars Celebration 2020, and I have to admit, some of the pops that they announced that are going to be available through the con are interesting, because we get a 10-inch supersized Stormtrooper, as well as a great movie moment, which is Yoda lifting the X-Wing out of the swamps of Dagobah. But I think the most interesting one that we got were the concept characters from Star Wars. If you are a longtime Star Wars fan like myself, you have seen your share of Star Wars documentaries. And in these documentaries, they showed us some of the concept arts of some of the original characters. So we are actually getting pops from those images, and you can get the original Darth Vader concept, the original Boba Fett concept, the original Chewie concept, and Starkiller, which is the original concept of Luke Skywalker. We also got the Marvel Collector Core box, which was based on the 20th anniversary of X-Men, and you can get a Mystique shape-shifting into Wolverine, as well as a Wolverine from X-Men Origins Wolverine, which was a movie that a lot of people wanted to at least see a Wolverine pop from. Well, now we're getting him in this box, and it, of course, is Logan. Also, we got a Philippines-exclusive pop ride of Jollibee on delivery bike. This is definitely a cute pop ride. I don't think it will actually be available in the States, and it's kind of funny because there is, in fact, a Jollibee restaurant in Manhattan in New York, so who knows, maybe they'll actually bring that to that restaurant and you can buy it there. But yes, this is going to be available through Jollibee restaurants in the Philippines. And then we got a couple of additional exclusives from all across the board, including a Walmart exclusive of Mr. Sinister. Now, Mr. Sinister was one of the X-Men characters that I really wanted to see become a Funko Pop, but to be honest with you, I don't like what he turned out to be. I think it might just be the smile. I don't know. I think giving this specific pop a mouth was not a good idea, and because of that, I think it just takes away the whole excitement from it, so I'm definitely not going to be adding Mr. Sinister to my collection, which unfortunately is a darn shame. But I was also very impressed with the fact that we did get a Big Apple Collectibles exclusive of Brainiac, and I love the fact that Brainiac became a Funko Pop, because it took forever for Lex Luthor to become a Funko Pop, so the fact that it took Brainiac even longer is crazy. I would love to see more of Superman's Rogues Gallery, but I would also love to see a Bruce Timm Superman animated series line, because that is when I will definitely pick myself up a Brainiac. And we also got the newest addition to the Battle of Hoth Amazon exclusive set, which is of course based on the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, and it is the Imperial Probe Droid. Then we got a whole bunch of Christmas-themed pops. We got the newest additions to Peppermint Land, which includes a lot of pop towns, and you can make your little Christmas village in Funko form. Also, a Hot Topic exclusive of Stitch in a Santa suit holding Scrump with a Santa hat on, and a Diamond Edition Holiday Pooh. And we also got the 4-pack of the Marvel holiday-themed pops. Now, these already came out individually, and they were available in a lot of retail, so the fact that we're actually getting a 4-pack is pretty interesting. But also, I think the one that really stands out is the National Lampoon Christmas Vacation Funko Pop Ride, exclusive to Walmart, of Clark Griswold in the legendary station wagon with the tree. I think that one is definitely going to sell. But we never did, in fact, get DC Christmas Pops. Well, that's about to change today, because we got a lot of DC-themed Christmas pops. We got everything from Superman with an ugly sweater to the Flash as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and also the one that definitely stands out for me is Batman as Scrooge, but also you can get holiday-themed Harley Quinn with a little hyena. But there's also some new DC holiday-themed plushies, as well as a Walmart exclusive t-shirt set of Superman with the holiday getup on, and it is going to include a flocked pop of Superman. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be the Santa suit that's going to be flocked, but then there's some more exclusives, and these are definitely great. I love the Penguin Hot Topic exclusive as a snowman, and of course the Joker, which is a Target exclusive, as Jack Frost. We also got another Hot Topic exclusive special of Batman, which of course this is based around Dark Knight's metal, and you can get the regular Hot Topic exclusive or the glow-in-the-dark Chase. Continuing on with the holiday themes, we got a lot of new Harry Potter stuff, including some holiday-themed Harry Potter Pocket Pops, some brand new pops, including a 6-inch pop of Hagrid with a Christmas tree, and something new to the world of Funko, a snow globe set, featuring some of your favorite Harry Potter characters in the snow globes in Pocket Pop form. But outside of the holiday themes, we also got a Funko Pop ride that a lot of people knew was coming. It just took them a long time to finally reveal it, and it is the Golden Trio on the Gringotts Dragon. I love the look of this pop. Part of me, when I first heard about it, was interested in picking it up, but I don't think I'm going to be doing so. However, I definitely want to see this pop up close because I have to see the design. I'm dying to see how they got all 3 of the kids on there, and I'm also curious to know if these are in fact detachable. Chances are they're probably not, but it would be really cool if they were. We also got some new additions to the WWE line, which is forever growing. It is so popular. We've got a brand new version of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We've got Macho Man in his legendary glamorous threads. There's also an FYE exclusive of that version of Macho Man that is Diamond Edition or Glitter or something like that. We've also got Mr. T in a Hulkamania shirt, and you can get the Hulkamania double pack from Amazon, which includes Mr. T in a Hulkamania shirt in a different position along with Hulk Hogan himself. And now we're going to continue on with some more sports. We've got a new addition to the NBA line, and it is a couple of various players in their team's third jerseys. So if you are interested in seeing these third jerseys, these are what is going to be available. And there's also going to be a Walmart exclusive of a 10-inch supersized pop of LeBron James. We also have some new additions to the NHL line, which makes me very excited, because we also have a couple of retro players. Not only are we also going to get a 10-inch supersized pop of Wayne Gretzky, but we're also going to be getting some legendary players like Luc Robitaille from the Kings, as well as Mark Messier, but unfortunately it's Mark Messier on the Oilers. I wish they would have given us Mark Messier on the Rangers, and I would have loved to have seen Mark Messier in his Rangers jersey holding the Stanley Cup. That would have definitely been a pop that I would want to add to my collection. But we're also going to be getting some current NHL players, including a Canadian exclusive Alexander Ovechkin and a chase of him with the Stanley Cup, but there is going to be a new Ranger. It's one of the newest members of the team, Panarin, who I am excited to add to my collection, so I will be getting another Ranger. Along with that, there's going to be celebrating the newest edition of NHL for EA Sports, NHL 21. If you get it from GameStop, you are going to be able to get a Happy Gilmore exclusive pop of him holding his hockey stick golf club in a black Bruins jersey as opposed to a white one. And to finish off with sports, we've got some brand new NFL pops, and they are all NFL legends. We've got some modern legends and some legends from way back when. We've got everyone from Steve Young to the late Reggie White, LaDainian Tomlinson, Ray Lewis, Howie Long, Jim Kelly from the Buffalo Bills, and of course the legendary coach Vince Lombardi. Now we're going to move on to some anime. We have the Saint Seiya, which is an anime that I am very unfamiliar with, so you're going to be able to get the commons and 2 exclusives, and one of them glows in the dark. We've also got some retro cartoons. One character that I knew that was coming because they did announce Harvey Toons coming out as pops this year. It was a matter of time before we also finally got Casper the Friendly Ghost in the world of Funko. Now, I'm not going to be picking this one up because it's just not something that appeals to me, even though I do appreciate Casper as an iconic cartoon character. But a pop that I will be adding to my collection is going to be the brand new deluxe Peanuts pop of Snoopy on his doghouse, and it comes with Woodstock as well. I mean, when it comes to Snoopy, that is one of the most legendary things that you know when it comes to him. So the fact that we're getting a pop is pretty awesome. Now we're going to move back into the Halloween theme, and we got a brand new addition to the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror line. We've got a whole bunch of commons and some excellent exclusives. One that I will be adding to my collection, which is Bart the Raven, which is from Box Lunch. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to pre-order him because he sold out in pre-order relatively quickly. No surprise, because everyone who is a Simpsons fan loves Bart the Raven from the very first Treehouse of Horror episode, so I am very much hoping that I will be able to get my hands on this one because I really do want it. And there's also going to be a glow-in-the-dark Amazon exclusive of Ned Flanders as the devil. Now we've got some South Park. We've got a brand new line of South Park coming out. It's been a while since we've gotten some South Park characters. We've got some new keychains as well as an FYE exclusive Funko Pop and the commons. And thank goodness one of the commons is the one that I want to add to my collection. I am not as big of a South Park fan as I used to be, but I love the episode of Awesemo, and the fact that the common is the Awesemo with the cardboard box head, I definitely want to pick that one up because that was one of the episodes that made me laugh so much. I would be great to have Awesemo in my collection, and part of me is also interested in possibly getting the Professor Chaos Pocket Pop keychain. Now, we got some more television shows, and this is a set that I think is too little, too late, and it is How I Met Your Mother. It is 2 characters. You've got Barney Stinson, played by Neil Patrick Harris, and Ted Mosby, played by Josh Radnor. Now, I talked about this with my wife because we both were fans of the show, and then the 9th season happened. It's such a shame, and we both agreed that if it wasn't for the fact that the Ted was holding the blue French horn, you would never know that these were How I Met Your Mother Pops. And don't get me wrong, it is great to finally see Neil Patrick Harris as a Funko Pop, but I really don't think that this line is going to sell, and that's why I think they didn't give us Marshall and Lily and Robin either. They only started off with these two. Personally, I think that this is a failure. I don't think it's going to happen because unfortunately the show failed at the very end, and it was such a shame because when it first started, it was a fantastic show. It was the rebirth of the television sitcom that had been dormant for so many years thanks to reality television. This definitely paved the way for bringing the sitcom back in full force, but nah, they didn't do such a good job at the end, and that's why I don't think these will sell. But I know what is going to sell. We've got a new wave of The Office, we got some new commons, as well as a whole bunch of exclusives, including an FYE exclusive 2-pack. Now we'll move on to video games. We're going to be getting a bunch of GameStop exclusives of legendary PlayStation characters, including Sweet Tooth in his ice cream truck as a pop ride from Twisted Metal, and the set that I know is going to sell is the 2-pack of Ratchet and Clank. I know a lot of people who love Ratchet and Clank. I even saw the movie, and I thought it was really cute. So it is really cool to finally see these guys becoming Funko Pops. And of course, this game got teased thanks to Virtucon. It was the Critical Role pop that was announced, so now we're finally getting the regular line, including a specialty series. I don't know much about this game, so please let me know what it's all about in the box below. Now we're going to move on to movies, and obviously we all knew about the new James Bond movie. Thank God it is still planning to be released in theaters in 2020, so we're getting the No Time to Die line, and I know a lot of people are excited about this, but if you really want to go retro, you can get yourself a Roger Moore James Bond from Moonraker. And even though I think it is the worst James Bond film ever, it's still James Bond in a spacesuit. It will sell for sure. And to cap it all off, the biggest announcement that we got from Funko was the Retro Toys line. People were just very excited to get these classic characters in toys that they played with. Even some of them went on to become cartoons. So we knew that Wave 2 was coming, and we got a little bit of a tease. So we got the Get Out of Jail Free card Monopoly, Rich Uncle Pennybags. We even got a Popple, which includes a chase. And we also got, which I had no idea was coming out, the Rock'em Sock'em Robots. So you can get them as Pops, Pocket Pops, or even as a Pez dispenser. Now, the final thing that they announced was definitely a big surprise. I did not know that they were going to be making more Ninja Turtle Pops, but these are based on the movie from 1990. So you can get all 4 turtles, Elias Koseas as Casey Jones, and a specialty series of April O'Neil, but that is definitely April from the animated series. So, personally, as great as these Funko Pops look, especially the Turtles, I'm definitely not going to be getting them. I do have the Turtle Van with Michelangelo, but I do have to admit the Turtles look fantastic. They look like they've come right out of the movie. I love the Michelangelo with the cheese hanging off of the pizza slice. They definitely capture the personalities from the film. They even got the colors right, which is so fantastic, but I'm not going to be adding them to my collection. But either way, I know for a solid fact that these retro toys are going to be very popular among so many people, they're definitely going to be selling. Thank you very much for taking the time to sit down and talk about Funko Pops with me, everybody. You know how much I love to do that, so leave your comments if you haven't just yet. I'd love to know your thoughts on some of the new products. Do you think that they're going to last as long as Funko Pops do? And I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.